Yesterday, the most expensive marriage in tech history quietly filed for separation. Microsoft, the company that pumped over $13 billion into a non-profit it didn't even own a board seat in, just gave up its exclusive rights to that non-profit's products. And in classic Silicon Valley fashion, both parties insist they are still very, very good friends. On Monday afternoon, OpenAI and Microsoft published nearly identical blog posts using the exact same phrase, grounded in flexibility and certainty, which is corporate divorce attorney for "we got tired of suing each other." The new deal kills the legendary AGI clause that gave Microsoft access until OpenAI invented general intelligence. It opens the floodgates for Amazon Web Services, Google Cloud, and Oracle to sell GPT models directly to their customers. And it clears the runway for OpenAI to IPO at over $1 trillion later this year. In today's video, we'll find out who actually won this divorce, why Andy Jassy is the happiest man alive, and whether the AGI clause was ever real in the first place. It is April 28th, 2026, and you are watching indiehacker.news. To understand what just happened, you need to remember how this whole thing started. Back in 2019, when Sam Altman was running OpenAI as a non-profit research lab with a charter about safety first, humanity benefits forever, Microsoft slid into his DMs with $1 billion check. Then another. 11 checks later, Microsoft had funneled over $13 billion in cash plus another $3 billion in Azure credits into a company that was structurally not allowed to give them equity. So they invented a new thing called a capped profit subsidiary, which is finance speak for "we will pretend this is charity until it isn't." And in exchange, Microsoft got something nobody else on the planet had: exclusive rights to host every model OpenAI ever shipped. ChatGPT, Codex, Sora, all of it, only on Azure. But the contract had a single weird clause buried inside it that nobody outside the boardroom paid attention to. The exclusivity expired the moment OpenAI internally declared they had reached AGI. Yes, AGI, the made-up benchmark that nobody can actually define, became a literal trigger inside a Microsoft contract. Because of course it did. Then in February, OpenAI took a $15 billion check from Amazon, with another $35 billion contingent on milestones. Total $50 billion to build data centers with AWS. The entire deal violated the spirit of Microsoft's exclusivity. The Financial Times reported Satya Nadella was contemplating suing his own portfolio company. Sam Altman went on a podcast and casually admitted there were, quote, points of tension. The crowd at Davos almost choked on their oat milk lattes. So Monday's deal is basically the divorce settlement that nobody wanted to litigate. Here is exactly what changed. Microsoft gives up exclusive resale rights. OpenAI is now free to ship products on any cloud, full stop. The AGI clause gets buried in a closet. Microsoft instead gets a non-exclusive license that runs through the year 2032, no matter what kind of intelligence OpenAI invents. Microsoft keeps roughly 27% equity. They keep their 20% revenue share through 2030, but for the first time it comes with a hard cap on the dollar amount, which Bloomberg estimates is north of $250 billion. And here is the spicy reverse swap. Microsoft used to pay OpenAI a revenue share for hosting models on Azure. That payment is gone. Now the cash flow only goes one direction, from OpenAI to Microsoft. The Redmond accountants just got a Christmas bonus. Now for the question that matters, who actually won this thing? On paper, Microsoft looks like the loser. They lost exclusivity, lost the AGI lottery ticket, and watched Andy Jassy at Amazon literally tweet that GPT models would be on AWS Bedrock in the coming weeks. The vibes were not subtle. But Microsoft last quarter alone earned $7.5 billion off its OpenAI stake. Their Azure business already runs every Fortune 500 enterprise. They get to keep collecting cash with no cloud cost obligation in return. That is the corporate equivalent of getting alimony from your ex while also keeping the house. OpenAI, on the other hand, cleared the IPO runway. They are projected to lose $14 billion in 2026 and have committed over $1.4 trillion in data center spend. They needed every cloud they could get just to physically run the servers. Now they can shop GPT compute to AWS, to Google, to Oracle, and play them off each other like it is a Thanksgiving dinner. The real loser is anyone who believed the AGI clause meant something. It was a poetic piece of paper that turned into a contract footnote the second a $50 billion Amazon check showed up. The lesson here for indie hackers and founders is brutally simple. Every contract written about a future technology you cannot define is a ticking time bomb. The AGI clause sounded like a moonshot in 2019. By 2026, it had become an inconvenient sentence that two of the biggest companies in the world quietly negotiated out of existence. Build for the next 18 months, not the next 18 years. The full daily breakdown of this OpenAI Microsoft divorce, including every dollar figure, every leaked memo, and what it means for AWS pricing, is in the Indie Hacker newsletter. Link is in the description. This has been the Code Report. I will see you in the next one.